control it. And on the Bulls turnover, the Lakers have it back. Tied at 16 with just over 3 minutes to play in the first.
See, they'll take turns. You know, Pippen to guard him a little bit, Jordan to guard him a little bit. And those are the two best defenders in the NBA right now. And Kobe's going to have his work cut out to score against either one of those guys.
22nd timeout taken by the Lakers. We spoke of Michael Jordan's shooting rhythm. He hit 2 of his first 3. He's 4 of 8 so far in this game. He managed to score 14 points at Golden State on Friday night, giving him 803 consecutive games in double figures, extending his own NBA record. But he needed to hit 10 of 11 from the free throw line to get into double figures after making just 2 of 17 from the floor. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Bob, you know, I was talking to Michael about his showdown here with Kobe, and one of the things he said is that everybody's looking for the heir apparent. He said, I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still here. He said that playing against a guy like Kobe really fires him up, but he's not conceding anything. So it should be exciting, Bob.
Well, when faced with whomever has been dubbed this year or this week's heir apparent in the past, Jordan has often pressed the accelerator just to send a message of his own.
Well, when you're Chicago, you look for things to artificially motivate you now because you've been doing it for so long and there are no more challenges. So anytime that you can get something to artificially motivate you, you accept that to fire you up and fuel you.
Pippen bumped Bryant. Scotty doesn't think so, but the foul is on him. And quickly a timeout. We'll be right back.
Well, Dennis Rodman, the rebounding machine. He already has 6 rebounds today. Let's take a look at Dennis. Everything he does is with 2 hands. He gets it, 1 hand, 2 hands. That's what all young kids should watch. Watch how he positions himself, tips it, grabs it with 2 hands. Every time you see him rebound, it's with 2 hands, turns, outlets. Fundamentally sound into the game. 36 years old, leading the league in rebounding. The only 2 people to ever do that is Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, the big man.
And as if this game needed any additional spice, Rodman provided it with yet another critique of Shaquille O'Neal. He said he's a 2-dimensional player. All he can do is dunk and dunk.
And I would say there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, Rodman's also wrong if he's serious because Shaq is a terrific rebounder. He passes well out of the double. He does tend to get in foul trouble, and of course his great weakness is that he can't hit free throws.
Well, let's take a look at Shaq. You know, he's 25 years old. He's coming to the league at a very early age, and it takes a long time to win a championship. His discipline, his focus, his concentration is on winning a championship. He's improved himself, and he's going to win a championship in one of these years.
Judd Bushler just in, misses long. Kukoc has the rebound. It's wrested away from him, though, by Mario Bennett. Bennett to Bryant, into a crowd and off the glass.
Now, Mario Bennett is a speed player. He's one of them guys who can get up and down the court. You know, he's very versatile. He can guard you on the court, outside the court. He can do anything out on the court from a versatility standpoint.
Jordan, Pippen, Bushler, Kukoc, and Klein, and Michael. Misses long, line drive rebound to Kobe. Out of the backcourt with Jones on his right. Jordan had him defensively. Jones from the side, it's good for 3. And the quiet all-star gives the Lakers a 6-point lead. It's the game's biggest. Chicago asked for a 20 here. And in that stretch, at least briefly, Kobe and Michael were head-to-head, guarding each other for the last couple of minutes. Phil Jackson made a move before the game. You see Joe Klein, who had been on the injured list. They put Rusty LaRue on the injured list, the rookie guard out of Wake Forest, and activated Klein, who has come off the bench early with Luke Longley picking up 2 quick fouls. This gives them 6 more fouls, at least in theory, to use against Shaq. We haven't seen Bill Wennington yet, but they have 3 centers in Longley, Klein, and Wennington.
Well, and bringing in Klein and having those 6 fouls, it's a plus but it's also a negative too, because sometimes you get in a habit of just fouling people, and you can see that Chicago's already over or LA hasn't gotten to the penalty yet because they haven't used it. But if you start fouling people and you keep fouling them, then you're going to keep sending them to the line, and at the end of the game, that can come back and bite you.
LA on a 13-2 run. Michael from 20, fouled as he let it go. Eddie Jones picks up his first, and you can go online to msnbcsports.com and cast your ballots for the NBA midseason survey. Voting for MVP, Coach of the Year, Most Improved Player, and all the rest. Later today, go online for post-game commentary and reactions from the locker rooms of the Bulls and the Lakers. msnbcsports.com.
Now, Ahmad and I were talking to Jordan back in the locker room, and he made the comment to Ahmad and I that, it's interesting that, whenever there's a one-on-one matchup, he always guards his guy, but the guy doesn't never guard him. They always put somebody else on him.
Well, in this case, though, Bryant and Jordan were guarding each other, at least for a few sequences. Here's Fox to Jones, and Jones with the up and under. Lakers by 6 again. Kukoc from Klein to cut it to 4. That's Tony's first basket. Last minute of the first quarter. Bushler on Jones, who drives on it. And from the baseline, it's no good. Chasing it to the side. Art Bennett and Jordan, and Michael comes away with it. Klein is fouled by Fox, coming over to help Bennett with the defense.
Now, what makes this fast break happen is that he runs his lanes wide, and he's able to elevate and go up under Joe Klein. That's what made that play happen. Eddie Jones is a great leaper, but he's also a great finesse player around the basket.
Joe Klein, the veteran, signed as a free agent just before this year. Can't hit the free throw. Luke Longley had to take a seat early, picking up 2 quick fouls. And Klein makes 1 of 2. Bulls back to within 3. Eddie Jones blows past him and bounces it into Fox for the reverse. Getting back ahead of the field is Kukoc, but Bennett catches up. Michael against Kobe. To Kukoc in the lane, slapped away, and Michael recovers. Last 10 seconds of the quarter. Kobe on Michael. To the foul line, the jumper over him, and that's the way the first quarter will conclude.
That's the end of the first period. Lakers